Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to my not 12-hour stream. I'm still not quite over that. Like, both physically and mentally. I'm still tired, in spite of sleeping really, really well yesterday. No real shock. But yeah, welcome. It is so lovely to have you here. Copper and Josh and Oak and Lime and Juice and anybody else who's just hanging out and lurking. It's wonderful to have you here. This is probably going to be the last Disco Elysium stream. Or, yeah, the last stream. And there's something about this game, because I'm coming to the end of it, and I'm immediately planning what my next playthrough will be like. I want to explore everything this game has to offer. There's a part of me that really wants to do a mean, drunk playthrough. Like, make Kim not respect me. Hello, Summer. Well, no, that's it. I don't want to be mean in this game. I want to explore other paths through the game. The fact that it's possible to be mean is fascinating. That's probably not going to be on stream because this is already my second playthrough of the game, and, you know, I've already played an entire playthrough without pants. I don't think I can one-up myself next time. Oh, Copper, that's exciting. Also, hello, Bolt. But yeah, let us start the game. I've said it before, but it bears saying again. I adore this game. I saw that on GOG, the critic score is listed as 89 out of 100, and I genuinely can't think of how this game lost 11 points. This is one of my very few 10 out of 10 without question games. I've played it twice now, and all that happens when I finish is that I want to keep playing it. Very few games have ever done that. Also, let me just do that. Yeah, this for me is a 100 out of 100 game. I cannot criticize any part of it. It's beautiful, it's well written, it's interesting. I can't think of any way this game could be improved. And with that said, I have a skill point if I need it. You're not. You're not cringe. Stitch, who told you you're cringe? I'll kill them. Well, you're wrong. Oh! I've got drugs, which I entirely forgot about. I've just got speed.
Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
Thanks, I feel terrible.
She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
That's accurate, Sabs. Also, I'm muted before the sneeze. This is very exciting for me. I normally get mistime it. You seem angry. Why?
Look at you. You can barely walk.
Some people hurt me. Yeah. The thing is, she doesn't think getting shot is badass. Lillian isn't going to be impressed by me getting shot. I think the thing to say is just some people hurt me. Thank you, Sabs.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
Yeah, I shot a guy in the face.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
Again, she's not going to be impressed to hear that I shot people. And yes, like, I'm not out here to impress Lillian. But I genuinely like her character, and she has shown immense concern and consideration for Harry, more than he probably deserves. So, I'm just going to be nice to her.
Of course. Can I help you with something?
We need to get to that island.
That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tide just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead.
Can we borrow your boat?
If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull. I just got it nice and yellow. And no drinking on the boat. And no joyriding either.
Ma'am, I am officially no longer an alcoholic. That was a thing that I got.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two. Official police business.
Aye.
What if I want to rock?
See, that makes me not want to lend you my skiff. On a boat, rocking leads to capsizing. That there is an absolutely 100% rock-free skiff. You got that?
2 days of sunshine? I just got a bacterial infection.
I'm sad to hear that. Take care of that with Ether, will you? Don't get too many RCM men round here. Be sad to lose the first one.
God, she's so nice. What did Harry ever do to deserve even meeting someone as nice as Lillian?
That's cool. You boasting your bacterial infection like that.
What's on that island? Oh, an unvoiced line. Neat. Nothing, just ruins. Used to be some kind of fortification there before the war. For the communards. An anti-aircraft gun, I think. Bombed to bits in the landing. I haven't been there myself. Always steered clear of it.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
You said you haven't been there yourself. Who has then, if not you?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me. The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such.
Which kids?
The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go? Would that be alright?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do.
Is there anything I should know about getting there?
Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there.
Good advice.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Thank you. We'll use your skiff to get there then.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
Be seeing you. Ah, Lillian, you deserve better than this world.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
You must be Lillian's twins.
Lily's mum.
Is little Lily your sister?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, kids, you've been to that island, right?
On that island?
The one who's busy kicking his stone points to the bay. Yes, that one. I need to know what's there.
That's nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great. And we make a fire. We make a fire. Mm-hmm. Gather the sticks for the fire and bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
What then?
They're lights. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire out.
The whom? Okay. Someone lives on the island?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Let's go with yes.
Why is he the fire guy?
Because he asks to put the fire out.
This voice acting for two little kids is shockingly good. Why does he ask you to put the fire out?
I don't know. He doesn't like it. He don't like people to be there. You shouldn't go.
Well, I'm gonna.
Yes.
You mentioned something about lights?
I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
Yes.
That sounds like a no to me. Is there anything else you can tell us about this guy? Age? Does he live there?
No, he doesn't live there. I don't think. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Cool, this has been incredibly unhelpful.
Anything else? What does this guy look like?
I don't know.
What? How come?
We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there.
Heck. Your father used to go to that island too, didn't he?
Our father killed himself.
Not actually what I asked, but okay.
Don't say that, he didn't.
His brother punches him. The boy's eyes well up like he's about to start crying. Well, from what Lillian told us, he got drunk and went sailing and fell into the water and drowned. Which is not actually killing yourself. Your father did not kill himself.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's really good, Bolt.
Doesn't even have anything to do with this, you. Father isn't the fire guy.
Yeah, but he went to the island, so I don't know. It might have been useful. Is that all you know? Is there anything more you can tell me about the island?
There's
The boy says, rubbing his eyes. It's clear that he has no intention of finishing the sentence.
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
Bye, kids. Take care. Okay, I cannot add more beauty to the wall, which is heartbreaking. I cannot replace the lost boo. Because, for several reasons. Find a murder weapon. Haven't done that. But given that the shot likely came from the island, we'll possibly find out there. We'll confirm this. And go to the island. We're almost done with things. I actually want to check my clothes at the moment. I've got a +1 to Inland Empire. But a -1 from my thoughts. So I'm going to put a point into Inland Empire for something that I remember from the last time I played. I'm going to keep a point on hand in case of anything else. Wait, I should probably do it from up here.
A pig! So cute.
Also you, Max. Heck.
skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go now?
I am.
Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the netpicker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
I always appreciate a game that that tells you when you're reaching a point of no return. Yeah, I did, Max. Like a year and a half ago. But then I played it again because it's good. You take the engine, Kim. I'll hold the boombox.
What?
What? How else do we blast Sad FM on our way to the island?
Fine. Let's blast Sad FM then.
Get in and ride to the island. No. Max, I expected last week to be the finale, but it turned out there were a lot of things left unresolved.
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Eternally.
God, this is such a cool scene.
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last.
Max, it's impossible to, like, 100% this game, I suspect. Well, yeah, I went over those, Max. The replace the lost rule is impossible at this point, and the last few things I suspect will happen today. And unfortunately, I identified the wall too late. It's impossible to do now. I needed to do it before day 5. That's where that little musical lick comes from.
The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then there's silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance. Let's go.
Well, here we are on the island. A makeshift bridge. The bombs are powerful enough to break the foundation. The rusted chain trails off into the ocean.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
That leads to the depot in Land's End.
Ah, yes, so it seems.
What do you think it was used for?
For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
Lock it from whom?
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
Neat. These tires are falling apart. They're at least 50 years old. Attention, inflammable. Oh, that's fine. Then it's not flammable. Ha ha ha, old joke. Oh, thing. There's a lingering trace of mazout in the air. Some fuel has leaked out of the barrel. Black, viscous. I love this place, just falling
The
apart.
dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface of the sea.
What is that flutter?
The flock of quail departs, now more than 100 meters away. 102, 105.
Underneath the flutter?
On the islet, there is almost no wind under the rain quietly falling on the reeds. Bulrushes swaying on the waterline, long dried leaves chafing against each other, the soft raindrops. The great ghost of the air is holding its breath.
To the west.
A silent hiss, sea air moving through the needles of a pine tree.
The east.
The faraway roar of the city, distant like today's dream. Before it, the sound of sand, the low tide filtered through its grains, a bird tending to its feathers. Raindrops fall on water, strangely quiet, forming circles in the distance.
Ahead.
A low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete box, through its ancient slits and cracks, resonating, hollow. A big building.
Beyond that, further north.
Air flows out of a pillbox window. There is very little there. The air cossets flowers on a meadow. Absolute silence. Reeds motionless. Bulrushes motionless. A drop of rain falls on a black log of an extinguished campfire.
Below the silence?
Col de Mamadakwa.
Whoa. So I strongly suspect this whole thought only happens if you've got that thought, if you've got that thought in your bag. That's so cool. Tim.
Yes?
This is where a lesser man would stop to think about the pain shooting up his right leg and into his groin. Not you. You're concentrated on how.
Have you noticed how quiet it is?
I have. Is that why we're stopping?
Sorry. Let's move. The barrel says ICM. You see a star with little specks on it. No way to get up there. The stairs are gone. Oh wait, that's downstairs. Somehow I didn't figure that out. Careful, these stairs have collapsed. Okay, well someone clearly lives here. Books, mostly fantastique and historical fiction. Dishes stained with sauce and fire, a survivor's kitchen.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracal blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
How recently?
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain, thick as molasses, no longer able to hear yourself speak.
I haven't been running, it shouldn't be bad.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
Maybe a little shut-eye. Just an hour.
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there. You didn't realize how tired you were. Your body is still nowhere near healed.
Curl up with your knees close to your chest.
The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass. Half an hour maybe. The sounds of the sea beyond grow distant. Your eyelids close. Until you feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening.
The thing is, Luca, you're correct. Kim is one of the most wonderful fictional characters ever written.
Sleep.
Hello, Sage. Max, do you not love Kim? Yeah, characters are meant to have flaws. Kim? Kim left me. The lieutenant is no longer here. Go outside to the beach. Oh, I have to go that way? I adore Kim. You're allowed to disagree, Max. Someone has to be wrong in every conversation. The door is still here, closed. Feels strange somehow. Can't get in. Oh, interesting. Those are things I'm not aware of, Max. Or there are things that don't bother me to the same extent. I forgot about this whole segment. Go down to the chain. There's something there. Yeah, Max, it is joking. A very good decision, Copper. I will say, Max is better than Kim, on account of Max is real and wonderful. And real wonderful people always beat fictional wonderful people. Walk into the water. Yeah, I get that, Max, and I apologize. See her footprints on the water. Further.
Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship airbag in her hand. She seems to be in a hurry.
But of course, it's not Dolores Day.
You may not be able to take this. Not this time. Not anymore.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Morova. To live there, in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime.
What's in the bag?
Just my scepter, my globe cruciger, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel documents, the crown of immortality.
I will say, Max, one of the things I do like about Kim, at least in the playthroughs I've had, is Kim is very loving and kind to a very broken person in the form of Harry. That's one of the things I like about him. For sure there are things to dislike, but I still like him. Crown of Immortality? Aren't you already wearing one?
Oh, this.
She corrects the wreath on her forehead.
This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity.
She looks at the suitcase, not knowing what more to say. Then, over her shoulder, silence. Her nuptial gown flows in the wind, wraps around her holy body.
Anyway,
Her skin is holy and soft.
no, Harry. It's just regular skin. I'm not as beautiful as you always thought I was. Let's not get into.
You are. None of the others are as beautiful as you. The way I always play Harry in my head, and I mean, the game bears this out, but he never, ever got over his ex-wife, I assume, but he never got over this woman.
She does not answer. There's that expression again. Silence. A distant wind blows. You can't think of anything pretty to say.
Can you stay for a moment? We need to talk. We need to have one more massive epic showdown.
No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really. We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us. Our love. Our unborn daughters.
There is a lot in those last 3 words that can be interpreted in a lot of interesting ways.
It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever. That's just the way it is.
Oh God, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try now.
No, Juice, that's justifiable. Like, that's a good reason to divorce. I get the feeling you're not really Dolores Day.
I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day?
I've heard you before. You're the voice on the phone.
Oh, Harry, you shouldn't have done that.
She shakes her head very slowly, her white hair brushing her shoulders. Do what?
Call me like that.
It wasn't me, it was my hand. My fingers called you.
They shouldn't have. They really shouldn't. I was in Morova already. Safe. In the warmth of the night. Wrapped in my future love. There, I think of you less and less. Whole weeks go by without me remembering you.
God, that is a painful sentence for someone like Harry, who I don't think goes a minute without thinking about her.
Months already. Soon it will be years without the hurt. I sit there in Morova, in the holy gratitude of my bliss. I put my hand on my belly and smile.
And I know this is his dream, but it's still a painful dream.
The air gets cold around you. She looks down on her stomach, then up at you. Her eyes are full of tremendous distance and mystery. The death blow is coming. Black-eyed dogs wander the alleys. Apple trees hang their bony limbs low over the patchwork of roofs. Red and black. Revachol West, the evening sun. She's left and bloomed, far away from us, our vast soul.
You know what, chat? I am going to ask you to boost my... Which one is logic? It's the Brainulum one. It's not psyche. I think it's just intelligence or something similar. I'm gonna ask you to boost my intelligence and sacrifice anything else. I don't think it much matters, but ideally, yeah, sacrifice physics or motorics. Motorics I won't need. I want to watch Sandman, Josh. I read several of the graphic novels. So yeah, please boost my intelligence and kill my motorics. I won't need it for later. Ooh, 72. That's an okay chance to remember her name.
It's Dora. That's what the voice said on the phone.
Thank you. Dora is short for Dolores.
Dubois, yes. Dora Dubois.
Are you Dora Dubois?
Oh no, 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 no. We're not doing that again.
That was not the death blow yet. You saved yourself. For now. Keep stumbling around, and it will happen.
You're the Morning. I don't think on my previous playthrough I found out her name.
The morning? I don't understand.
No, I meant mourning. I'm grieving, but you're not even dead. Oh, that's interesting, Sage.
Oh my god, Harry, stop. I don't want to hear anything about the morning. Mourning someone who's still alive. Any of that. I can't do that anymore. I'm not 80 years old, I'm 32. People my age are not supposed to mourn.
She breathes out. It sounds more angry than a sigh.
This is a bit much for me. It feels like your ribs are cracking around your heart.
Just rub your chest and moan.
The advisor to the Queen of Sorrents sighs and looks down at the crumbling asphalt. There is nothing she can do about your chest pain.
I don't know how old Harry is. Harry looks older than he is. You're the X something.
Wasn't I Dolores Day just a second ago? Now I'm the X thing? You're confusing me. Look, I have to be at the Lausanne Aerodrome at 10:20 p.m. I still have a light rail to catch. I haven't even bought the tickets yet.
We all told you. Everyone warned you.
Who, everyone?
Everyone.
God, that's a sexy voice.
Literally all of you.
I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm getting so much closure. I mean, Juice, doesn't that feel like what he would do, though? Harry never got over her.
I'm glad too, but I have to go. My friends are waiting for me on the platform. I can't let them wait. It's impolite.
Oh, it is, Juice. But Harry is not someone who works on himself.
What?
This is so grotesque.
It is. Useless.
The evening wind blows in as she says the word. Her gown wraps around her like a white flag.
1,000 times you beat an animal. 1,000 times you've raised that fabric. What is underneath has always calmed you, centered you, made you sane.
On second thought, you're Dolores Day, Queen Regnant of the territories of Mundi and Insulinde. And nothing.
Yes, Harry. I am. Things have gotten much better for me, now that I am the ruler of the known world. Oh God, it's already so late. I have to go, Harry.
A tiny golden watch with red straps around her bony little wrists.
I bought you this figurine of a headless phone rider.
I don't want it. It looks expensive. I don't want it.
I thought you liked figurines. I thought the figurines were for getting you back.
That's not what figurines do, Harry.
But then the figurines don't do anything.
She looks at the headless found rider between your fingers and doesn't know what to say.
What about dice? I had some custom dice made in this place. A doomed commercial area.
Harry, I don't want things. I want to go to the aerodrome.
Okay, I won't give you things then.
I didn't ask for things. It's too late to give me anything.
Secret
I would
task?
have liked the headless fallen rider back then.
But you said I have a vast soul and you'll always come back to it.
We both said a lot of things. We were very young.
It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender long fingers, in her wrists. Her hand wrote it, said those things.
Actually, you didn't say it. You wrote it in a letter. Handwritten letter. I kept it in my paperwork. Oh, all of these years, he's kept it there.
As Queen Regnant, I write a lot of letters.
You know what I mean. You left me a letter saying you'll always come back to me. That's why you can't believe how happy you are with me. I'm not going to start reciting it because this whole thing is miserable. But I don't know. I hope that, like, I'm hoping that this can lead Harry to some betterment.
Okay, Harry. Okay, it was morning and you slept. The room smelled of cigarettes and Rowans. There was hoarfrost on the ground when I left. It was autumn, the first one we had together. But you have to understand, it was 1,000,000 years ago. No, it was 100,000,000 years ago. I was someone else then, filled to the brim with love for you, hanging on your every word. Oh, Harry, you were the coolest. But I am no longer that person. This has taken her place. It will devour you. Harry, I will eat your mind.
Yeah, it already has. Well, Luca, that letter was written the first autumn they had together. That letter wasn't necessarily written near the end. He may have kept it for a long time, just as a reminder.
The light of the video rental shines through her dress now. A DeLorean figure, cut in black, moves below.
Well,
It's still her. Her
this
lips,
is him
her
dreaming.
breasts, her hips.
This is him dreaming of her leaving, but I don't think this event actually ever took place. And a lot of this is open to interpretation. I will say that. It was cool.
The coolest. With your leather jacket and your boot-cut pants, smoking in the bus stop. I wanted you to be the rest of my life that day. And you were. Some of it, at least. You were my first. My first kiss. My first time to have sex. The first and worst time I fell in love.
Oh.
I will always have that with me. It's a fact. But that is all it is. It's like a ticket stub, Harry. It doesn't do anything anymore.
That's painful. A ticket stub.
Yes, let's talk about that too. Let's bring it up, the zoo. In Le Jardin, the day we went east of the river. To the aquarium first. I was sad about my mother. I don't even know why. The shimmer of the fish tank on my face. The octopuses. It was just a day then, but to think. Were we there now, you could touch my hair. Kiss me. Talk to me about anything. Go virtually anywhere in the world. Not like now. Now our interactions are limited to pain and regret.
This is miserable. Can't you turn back to the person you were? I can see her in you under the gown and that wreath.
And my crown of immortality. No. You scared her out of me. With your
Ow.
crying, the awful time we wound up having. And the cheap rental flats you could afford.
Ugh.
Can't you see? I can never think you're cool again. I can only think that way about new people.
Juice Rowan Atkinson plays Mr. Bean. Hence, when you search for Rowan, sometimes that's what comes up. Where's this Voyager Road?
It's here. We are on Voyager Road. At the end of it, 300 meters from the stop. We used to come here to rent videos.
The house.
There. You could not pay the electrical bill. It became a lightless tomb. The years you spent training for the militia, my parents' money, it was not good.
Surely the alcohol didn't help either.
Were we drinking?
Everyone has a little glass of wine every now and then. I certainly do. It's a Queen Regnant thing. I don't think it was the alcohol. It was inevitability.
Oak, that is such a wonderful combination. Thank you.
See? If you drank with her, you'd be cool again. If you drank with her, you could have sex on alcohol.
Electrochemistry, that's just a grim thing to say. What now? What happens now? What is the next thing we talk about?
Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we have already talked about. Talk about it again. If you do not feel like doing that, then you should let me go to the aerodrome.
It's not a very good way for things to be.
It's not. But
But what? Tell me there's something good.
I don't know why I said but. There is no but.
That's it?
That's it, yes. We've talked about it a million times. You will get over it, just like I did. People do. Things will get good for you again.
I'm not getting over it at all.
It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20 years, maybe? It was hard for me too, you know? I used to think I couldn't live without you.
She looks you straight in the eye. Her iris is a light blue flecked with green.
But I can.
She keeps her shoulders squared and her back straight, but it's clear you're still making her sad.
So you felt that way once? That you cannot live without me?
Yes. But that time is gone now. So very gone.
20 years? That's so much time.
Yes. It only took me 1 year, maybe 2. Phew.
It doesn't have to be like this. Maybe we could try again.
No, Harry. We can't.
Why?
We already tried again, and it didn't work.
Oh.
Is that how it is now? We should just try all good things twice and then give up. By that logic.
Josh, this seems to be a dream. So this is probably a combination of real memories and imaginings. He thinks she's Dolores Day instead of his wife. Like, yeah. This isn't... She's not part of this conversation. Although, given Shivers and Inland Empire, parts of it are probably pretty accurate.
Not you too.
What went wrong when we tried again? I can do it better.
I don't know. Please.
She shuffles from one golden sandaled foot to the other. In the distance, a streetcar screeches. Why? Why can't we be together?
Harry, we can't be together because you're insane.
She avoids turning them to you.
Insane how?
They're turning moist now. Her eyes. She slowly shakes her head and tries to get a hold of herself, brushing her hands in her gown.
What do you mean by insane?
You know what I mean.
Everyone gets a little down.
A little down? You've worked there for so long, you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's always lists with you. Questions.
So last week, this game decided, a fourth wall? Why would we have that? And it continues. They're not lists, they're trees.
This is another one, isn't it? We're in a tree right now.
Lists are absolutely normal. Everyone has them. You just list everything you want to ask.
It's not just the lists or trees or whatever. You get sad, Harry. Too sad. People can't get that sad. It's impossible to watch. Other people get sad too, but not like you. You stay down for too long. Until you start giving your thoughts names and talking to things.
Oh.
In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. And you have to be in hell until the end of your life. And I have to go to Morova.
I know you still love me. Kiss her. Well, it was green, so I passed the check. Ma'am, I'm not wearing pants. We both know I'm the sexiest man in the world.
With your feet trembling from the steps you took, tepid and fearful, you stand against her, her body close to you, radiating warmth. With your eyes closed, you move your lips on her mouth. She is not kissing you back.
But I succeeded!
This was not about failure or success. This was always going to be horror. I should not have suggested it, and you should not have listened to me.
I feel her breath.
Her chest rising like a pillow, warm exhalations against the side of your mouth, her tender soul moving through her lungs. Hidden, distant, kept safe from you.
You're not kissing me back.
The moment is ending. She is going to move her face away from yours. Trying hard not to look at you. When she withdrew and you held on to her hand, she tried not to look at your face and see the expression there. Brother, you should put me in front of a firing squad. I have no words for how I failed you.
That's it then.
No, Harry. Not yet. There is one more thing you have to see.
She slides her hand down her chest and onto her lower stomach and smiles.
I'm pregnant.
It's his, the man I heard on the phone.
Yes, he did it.
She looks down at her belly, then up into your old eyes. I also suspect Harry might be infertile. Because there was that line about our unborn daughters.
I terminated yours.
Oh, that's worse.
Don't you remember, you poor fuck? You poverty-stricken fuck.
Okay. Well, question answered in the least pleasant way.
Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions. Let's talk about something else.
No, this has to end. Do the last one. More questions. Ask more.
No, I'm done. Don't go.
I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30. I'm gonna go now.
I was wrong. You don't have power over her anymore. You shouldn't have said that. I am wrong about everything. You should go on without me.
I don't know what that was meant to be. But I swore I wouldn't let you go. You told me. You asked me to be this way.
That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and I'm happier for it. And I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight.
Will we ever see each other again?
I won't see you, but you will see me.
How can that be?
Oh, Harry, this is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Who knows how long ago this happened? A year? 2? 5 years ago?
How will I see you again then?
Right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. There's the video rental.
Oh, and this just goes on exactly the same, night after night, year after.
I'm suffocatingly beautiful and young, and I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum, like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness, after leaving you the first time, so long ago.
But this is intolerably bad.
Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death or war or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow.
Game, I rolled big number on dice. I expect my marriage to be fixed now. This is unacceptable. Yeah, that's appropriate, Juice.
You're up quick. How was your sleep?
Try to cover up the blood seeping out with your hands. Why am I bleeding? Swallow the blood and conclude. Let's comb the entire island centimeter by centimeter. That's the next step in the task.
Okay.
He's still worried. You must have really thrashed and squealed in your sleep.
Oh, right, Juice. I somehow forgot that. You see candles planted on a broken rangefinder.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized.
Sift through them.
Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures. Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering.
Interesting.
Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Does anything stand out as unusual? Hey! Gotta love that conceptualization.
Not that you can tell. This is a digest of someone who's dead bored. Most of it is for entertainment purposes, fittingly right next to the radiola on the floor.
Okay.
You do feel there's something you're not getting here, though. Oh well.
Look, when you roll a character with no brain, this happens sometimes. A moth-bitten bedsheet keeps the wind out. Ooh. Fancy scarf. My morale is basically unbreakable at this point. I can just fix anything that happens to me.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right.
I'm sorry, Crow. Is that a Star Trek reference? In a very roundabout way?
The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
I'm proud of you, Crow.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Where do these wires lead?
Downstairs, somewhere?
What kind of generator is this?
Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout.
He points to the open fuel cap on the side of the dynamo.
The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter, long and cold.
If anyone stayed here, they'd need a generator.
Tap on the side.
A hollow ring. The canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
What does this mean, a generator?
I don't know. I'm not a philosopher.
I meant, why is it here?
Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. Maybe it's the fire guy.
The wind outside picks up suddenly, with a faint howl. Inside, it's warm.
Pour fuel into the tank.
The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch.
I know.
The
Pull the
recoil
rope.
start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
Neat. I don't know what that achieved. Oh, back up again. This was once an armament race. This great blast door must weigh over 10 tons. Rust peels off it.
You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one. A heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole above the handle. It's very small.
What's on the other side?
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable.
How do we open this?
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He looks at the door, then at its bigger brother, then at the lock. Kim, doors we don't open is not a concept I'm fine with. I tried to talk the door of a container open.
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
You're right, we opened the big one. You see controls anywhere?
I think there's a console just southeast. Let's look around. Getting the blast door open seems like the best plan.
Sage, have you ever played D&D? And if so, did you just confirm that you're a bard? I do,
Green paint
Pulsar.
flicks off the monoblock
Also, hello.
aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
I don't know who Pulsar Gaiden is, unless it's your alt account, but thank you. We are now at 400. Katamari playthrough confirmed. Thank you, Pulsar. I much appreciate that. Run your fingers across the
The
keyboard.
keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades.
What is this then?
The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here.
I'm excited about Katamari. Could this open the blast door?
I think, yes. Let's see. That one. The emergency open.
Push light interior.
The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle, a dim ambient orange.
Neat. Turn emergency open.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
That's a big ass door.
A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin crawl.
Yes, Sage?
After you.
What's there?
I don't know.
A thin wisp of smoke rises from a charred black fire pit. The wind picks up, then dies down again.
Some people find bards annoying, but honestly, you just have to play them not the worst. Because some bards have this habit of, like, I will seduce everything in the game. But bards, in terms of, like, a combat class, are really interesting in terms of their non-combat utility, are really cool. They've just got a reputation, which is partly earned, but there are really cool ways to play every class, including bards. I'm scared.
Don't be. I have a gun.
I also have a gun.
I know. It was not easy to acquire.
Let's go. Oh, also, I am excited. Because I have obtained the costume I need for my Oberdin cosplay stream. Must have been a direct hit to take out such a huge chunk. The winch is broken. Rust has eaten what remains of the chain.
A strange feeling looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea. Leave it all and walk in with a bottle in your hand.
A bottle in my hand?
Always.
Why?
Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you.
So the dream is not fully remembered.
Smelling of tutti frutti and betrayal. Maybe you know it's going to hurt.
But it's cold.
Yes, cold and still. But love is warm, like the inside of her mouth.
No.
Yes. No. We're not starting with that. Not now. Not this time. This thought is over.
Raise your sight.
In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you. Go. Step in. It's been too long.
Shake your head. So it's interesting that you do get something for coming back out here. Also, Luca, I appreciate that as a very different take on a bard. See, I'd like to play a demisexual bard. Where, yes, they want to sleep with everybody, but that just means they want to start by going on several dates with them. Water rushes below, far down below. Like, instead of trying to seduce the main villain, they're just like, look, before we decide whether or not we want to kill each other, could I take you for coffee? Walk slow, it might be dangerous. In which case, I'm also going to have a gun. A rubber dinghy. It's deflated, broken. Oh. Small white flowers blossom all around you. Okay, there is something that can happen on this island that I hope happens. It happened in my previous playthrough. It's so cool, if it does happen. If it doesn't, the game's still great.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
Are you the fire guy?
The what now? I can't hear you.
Did you recently tell 2 kids to put out their fire? 2 twins?
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position. Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
Oh, I like him.
A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains motionless.
Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
I fueled a generator, then used the console.
I should have burned that console down.
How did you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
Oh, dang it. He knew.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
It was not rock and roll. It was sad FM.
Sad FM, huh? I always hated that station. Phlegmatic counter-revolutionary dirges. Sadness is a mental illness. A weapon of the bourgeoisie. The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music.
Sir, that's just mean. Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that a Belle McGrave?
It's a 3-Angong 446.
That fires the same kind of ammunition as killed.
A Samuran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
The Sin Yao commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from the ball.
Your weapon has stayed true to you. Mine has stayed true to me too. Like when I shot a guy in the face.
Yes. I bet you've killed a lot of people with it. You fascist fuck.
That's just rude. I mean, accurate, but rude.
Have you come to make me one of them?
We have come to ask you questions, nothing more.
The lieutenant puts his hand on his holster.
If you do not comply, we will take you in. Do you understand?
Another spitball lands in the ashes. That's all the answer he gives.
The danger levels here are hard to read. One moment he's afire, the next, a fire gone out.
I am with the police. You can keep the gun, but keep it down. Not one move. The thing is, Kim and I can react faster than a dude with a rifle can.
No.
Oh! Okay, Kim.
Put it down now, sir.
Okay, Kim. Yes. Can I... Thank you. Thanks, Sage, for unbanning them. That was very kind of you.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me? To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
The old man lays the rifle down carelessly, then looks at it lying there.
Like an amputated limb in the sand.
Pick up the gun lying in the sand.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stopped and patched in places with tape and wire.
Inspect it closer.
The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
This uses jacketed ammunition, 4.46.
The right type and the right calibre.
He's liking this.
As he said, it's a Triangon, made in Elysium.
No one said it has to be a Belmagrave. We were just guessing.
From ballistics, it could easily have been a Triangon, too.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. And it does.
Stow the gun.
The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession in time.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol.
But the war ended decades ago.
I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
His eyes turn to the reeds again, dead and dull.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your holdover from the...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
How long have you been on this island?
43 years.
Good lord.
No. I've been on other islands too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48. a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
Again, you've been hiding here for 43 years?
43 years and 10 months.
I don't even know what that is.
It's inhuman. It's sick. It's not how a human being should live, but I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
He looks across the water.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41.
Thanks, Shivers. I don't think I needed to know about the clouds, but...
2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects a series of burnt black letters splashed across the plaza mosaic. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
For what?
For her to return.
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution.
Man, what do I say to this? I can't say it's not what the people are planning, because at least some of them are. Honestly, yeah, I'm going to say the city is a tinderbox. It may still happen.
It won't. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for our revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
You said you deserted your unit?
I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
Lapse of faith?
You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took.
For what?
For reaction to take hold.
It wasn't reaction. You were just afraid.
It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked. It's impossible not to be afraid.
And this was when?
Lieutenant instinctively looks to his notebook, but does not take it out.
May the 13th, 08. 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic.
Dark magic?
The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower, huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
He looks east.
A terrible shame, still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
You didn't go to them.
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened at the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
He looks at the sky. What was that?
Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Some kind of great terror. Worse than you've ever seen.
Seen what?
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know.
Sage, I love that. What?
That the bourgeois are not human.
Say nothing. Let him finish.
I had to. I had to fight it. I had to never stop.
His black eyes keep piercing your skin as he looks to some great distance behind you, shaking his head, retreating from it. How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
What do you steal?
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
That's not ideal.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
This is a serious situation. You need to be looked over, and we can do it.
There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund.
Well, at least that will ease the pain. How have you coped mentally?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of...
His eyes roll into his skull and back.
I don't even know what. Inferno?
You notice the lieutenant is about to say something.
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on, more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round.
What's the alternative? People need to live.
It's disgusting.
He looks down at his shoes, his face parched from the sun and the wind. There's a wince of pain in there.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
You said this is your termless surrender?
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
We're not coalition appointed. We just try to help people.
You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, Le Parti Communiste d'Insolande. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit.
I have another serious question for you.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
What have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Okay.
Here we go. A trail of blood. The lieutenant smells it too.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Okay.
Sage! My god. Even that word?
Going straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
So you're saying you killed people after active fightings?
What did I just say?
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor Cornell?
The who now?
He leans in and cups his ear.
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it. You're in.
The corpse in ceramic armor, hanging behind the whirling in rags. Did you shoot him?
Oh, yes. That one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
I don't need your cooperation. I've got this.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that, jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen.
Fuck.
So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
Stop changing the subject. We have the murder weapon.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it?
Dramatically ask. You think we have the murder weapon?
4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it.
I'm calling it. We have the murder weapon.
Good.
Okay. I'm putting another point into Inland Empire. I'm still keeping a point in reserve. but there are reasons. Lieutenant takes out his notebook and draws a single line.
This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
The old man does not say more. He just glances into the reeds and then twitches once more. And I can't reveal, but... reasons. Come on, what am I forgetting? Hit yourself on the side of your head.
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
My head hurts now.
Who cares? There were Maybells in the grass when you got here, and on Clausia's balcony. Is this a coincidence? Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up.
Of course. Thank you, Ed. Thank you.
You got it. Remember, the boot prints were like no modern soul. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal.
I might be.
Nothing else comes up. You see the lieutenant watch you. Try to stimulate thought processes by hitting yourself.
It's called percussive maintenance, Kim. If it works on a computer, it'll work on me.
I'm sorry, this didn't do anything. Usually hurting yourself does.
Officer, a word?
No, I'm almost there. Just let me have a few more punches.
Almost where? Almost ready to bleed to death.
No, come on. A word. Let's go. I think we may have this.
The lieutenant whispers, then gives the suspect a short glance. Think he did it?
From nothing to this in a day. This is good, Lieutenant Jeffrater. We just need a confession first, and then maybe a solid motive later.
I'm slapping myself to get ideas.
I can see that, yes. I'm not judging.
I'm trying to get him to confess.
Yes, good going. That should be our first priority.
What do you think? How do you think the questioning is going?
Good. We are doing very good. He wants to confess, I can see that. We just need to pile it on a little more. The more we have on him, the closer he is.
What am I missing? What haven't I done?
Ballistics. Let him cook here for a minute or two. We can have another look around the island for a sniper's nest. I think we should check out the post.
Okay, let's do this.
Remember, he wants to tell us, but he doesn't want to help us. It needs to look like we already have everything.
There is palpable excitement in his tone. He likes him for this. A lot. But there's something more, too.
He wanted me to check out the sniper's nest, but I'm not sure where that is. There's nothing over that way. Is there anything over this way? Because it could be past him. So it doesn't look like there's much out here. No, okay. I assume the sniper's nest is up here somewhere. The inside of the fortress. Make out the console and the glass door. Wait, this... Okay, so it is downstairs. Clearly. Curiouser and curiouser. I'm gonna do a little bit of running. Just because... the game can be a little slow sometimes. Which I do not judge it for. It's a wonderful game. And people deserve to take their time with it. Hey, Summer. The pain in your pelvis makes you wince. Then you continue. That's why I'm not running anymore. On account of I got shot.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
This looks like a good place to aim from.
Inspect the
A
mattress.
single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns, and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
Pick one out of the can.
The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Mortieri.
Our shooter's a heavy smoker.
Noted.
Inspect the wall.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Touch the concrete.
Quite old and grimy, from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain.
Look through the hole in the concrete.
The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation, a tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting, 1 kilometer across the water. The ruins look familiar.
On the left,
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain,
Miguel
33A and
Fetager.
33B.
I hope that's correct. Thank you for following. Oh, Sage! Is that your goblin brother? Welcome, Miguel. It is wonderful to have you. Sage was telling me you opened their door and stood there breathing like a goblin. But yeah, Miguel, it's wonderful to have you. Thank you. On the right,
The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling in Rags, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10, the doomed commercial area.
and between the two,
The box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling in Rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop, sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Clausia's room.
there it is.
Do you have a line of sight to the window?
More than that,
Him with the pair of binoculars, I would be able to see inside the room.
A pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
cheek against a cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
Him, I could make it. I could make it.
Good. I think we have it, Detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
I'm gonna keep boosting Inland Empire. Oh, I hope Inland Empire is the right one. I'm actually going to check this out. It matters to me enough. It matters to me enough that I want to make sure I get it correct. Hmm. Oh no! Is that the wrong one? Or am I thinking of entirely the wrong thing? I'm sorry, this is just very important to me. Man, I'm not getting what I need. Oh, that's fine. Okay, apparently electrochemistry is also part of it for a different check. I'm going to level that up as well. No, you know what? I can level that up later. I'm going to level up Inland Empire because I like it. If nothing else, Inland Empire is cool. Better late than never.
Nothing pointed here. Many leads pointed elsewhere.
You're right. Well, Sage, tell him he's cute.
He looks north, over the fortification, then at the mattress. He's conflicted for a second. There's guilt there. It takes him a moment to rationalize it away.
A pig! So cute.
Also you, Summer. A weathered artillery map showing coordinates in the Bay of Revachol. An old medicine cabinet, newly stocked with Druamine. Man, there was a brief moment where I thought I saw something else there. Thanks for confirming, Summer. Technology's clearly being a little bitch.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
Oh no. One more time, Mr. Dross. The Colonel. We need to talk about you killing him.
Petty bourgeois law. This is all you care about, right? The only thing in the world for you types.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Tear into him again. Pile it on him.
Maybells behind the victim's window. I saw them growing here. I don't know, Summer. It's very interesting. It must be.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly. Nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
I haven't seen these flowers anywhere else in Martinique. Only here.
They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it.
South, the Bay of Martinez is dotted with little freckles of islets, turning green, with white flowers in white snow.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
Hell yeah, Kim.
I may.
A young woman called Clasia. Ring any bells? Flowers like these were behind her window.
Classier.
You know her, right? He had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary.
With the victim.
He turns his sight from the whitening field of flowers and falls silent. Then the muscles in his jaw twitch, a spasm. I wonder what brand of boots you're wearing.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa? Some shit.
Show me the soles, please, Mr. Doras.
Fucking imbecile.
The old man stretches out his leg. A black and white spiral pattern covers the sole of the worn-out old running shoes on his feet.
The maker is called Sansarique, and the size is 42 to 44. These are not the unusual horizontal pattern soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the sole.
Ooh! Time for a nearly guaranteed to fail drama check. Maybe it's simpler than that.
Simpler?
Hey!
No. This is another loose thread you will never connect.
Goddamn footprints everywhere, I hate them.
The lieutenant raises his brow. What are you doing? He's thinking. We almost got him here. Not now. Stop yourself.
What do we do? We're not getting these prints to match.
People change shoes, detective. It was you. You were there, weren't you? Crawling and whirling in rags. What were you doing? Some kind of reconnaissance? Preparing the scene? Listening in on her?
Trying to rack your brains. You're desperate to report something back to your masters. They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood.
He was a killer, but he was still under the protection of the law.
Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
So you shot him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
You can almost see him squeeze a tear out of his eye. His fists begin to tremble from the anger.
The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling.
Just nod.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase, and I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth.
I'm sorry about the heck, Max, but I'm glad you're back.
I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her.
Then what?
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
A single word is all he gives. I'm not leaving this to chance. It's important to me. Ah, Stitch.
And you were looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The lieutenant takes out his notebook slowly, very slowly.
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
Shrugs, then smacks his lips.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
Why were you looking at them that way?
I'm always looking.
He cocks his head to the side, then turns his eyes to the city. Another tremor passes his right side, lowering intake.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
Helps him see all the shit.
And if you don't like it?
Click.
If it's part of the shit you see,
Then you pull the trigger?
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
what specifically did you not like about what you saw the night of the murder? Yes, Sage, what's your question?
Them. Fucking. I didn't like that.
So you were jealous?
Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore.
Sage, what do you mean hide? Mike Wazowski is all pee-pee.
And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
Hello, hello, hello. I hear there have been questions regarding the PP of a certain Michael Wazowski. Now, we, as the PP police, have had to inspect many PPs, both of humans and non-humans, both of normal and abnormal varieties, and I must say, I have never in my life seen a monster that is all PP with a single eye and mouth. It is not known at this point exactly which of these orifices he ejaculates out of, but I can only assume both simultaneously, and insertion must be quite an experience for everyone involved. Hi, Sage. I had a lot of fun with that one. How long had you been watching for?
Since she came to Martinez. I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
Past the Fell building on the coast? What was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking.
I'm glad you enjoy it,
nervous,
Sage.
but not scared.
And thank you for clipping.
And beautiful.
And beautiful.
That, too.
How could you see what she looked like?
Neat,
You said it was
Josh.
dark.
Definitely.
The sun came up. Her hair was like cobwebs. She smoked more fags and snorted a line of whatever shit she was on right there. She needed it just to move.
What do you think she hid there?
Her passport and ticket to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut.
Some kind of hidden container on the coast? You looked into it?
Yes, after she'd gone. It was a submersible. Well made, actually.
Sloppy. We should have gotten her to tell us about this. Did you take the documents?
No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to phone. Oh, I mean...
He seems confused. Moving on, did you continue watching her after this?
I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks, and a body hard and lean and bruised all over, black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook, on the run. Revachal's the cloaca of capital now.
Sir, you can't say that
All
on my street.
bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
Sir, you cannot say the cloaca of anything.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
How did you see all this? The bruises that she was beaten?
I'm not blind, am I?
How does you know about those minute details about her body?
It quickly comes to you.
The bruises on her body. Any chance you've seen them through a hole in a wall?
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating.
Everything in him fills with impossible longing, all at once.
You're a horrible person. I mean, you're a murderer, but you're also just a horrible, horrible person.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip point knife.
Good for listening in, too, for hearing the moaning and the snorts.
Ever see her through a window on a roof?
Like that, too? Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass.
You've been through the secret route behind the whirling in rags. Those were your footprints there. You just changed your shoes.
I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny.
And that too.
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see anyone looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you. One more loose end down. We're doing this, detective.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in the hostel now after a good wash. They all think I'm an antisocial, a vagrant. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty then.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
Did you have feelings for that woman?
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know.
I'm glad you're back, Sage, and I hope Miguel can get here soon. There have been others?
Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel something.
Was that why you left the dried flowers behind her window?
No,
Why then?
I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of her room on the floor, like she does sometimes.
When was this?
The day after I killed him.
And you brought her Maybells.
Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
You wanted to manipulate her.
Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you.
A sudden pang of rage.
If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more.
It really is, Sage.
One more down.
So in conclusion, it wasn't about him. It was about her.
Her.
He repeats, staring at the ashes, then the reeds. There's a twitch in the corner of his eye.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement.
Cool. The game wants to make sure Inland Empire is as good as it's getting. Or rather, the game wants to make sure that I can level up things if I want to.
That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days.
She got away, but she led us here first. We figured out someone was watching her from the fort.
Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
Midtown, across the Bay of Riverdale, the oceanic wind washes 40-story towers. Above them, Lucerne Central Aerodrome, a cocoon suspended in the sky by a web of suspension wiring, encircled by hybrid aircraft.
Look north.
On the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol. Yet still she smiles among the crowd, among the great ghosts of the city she's leaving, for another, far south. Smaller, distant, hidden, not like the great chandelier she sees sparkle in the night below her. Streetlights, towers, tenements, and water, and across it a dark strip of ruins, barely visible if she didn't squint her eyes. There, on a dilapidated jetty in a nameless village, 2 police officers and 1 special consultant look across a narrow strip of sea. The ruins of a seafort stick out of the water, built by Philippe II, reappropriated by the Commune, then lost in the landing. He's there, doing what exactly I don't know. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer points at the ruins. Behind that anti-aircraft something. That's why we can't see him. Special Consultant Heidelstein is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. I know this interesting little place. Where? His voice trails off as the 3 walk down the jetty.
Okay. So they're waiting for me with a special consultant.
As the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her shoulder at the crumbling fortification like a rotten tooth rising out of the water. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. You need something good for this.
Yeah, if I don't find out who committed the murder and make an arrest, I'm probably losing my job. But
We could get more. We've got him talking.
been looking at anything else you haven't liked?
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
More specifically?
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst.
How come?
Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it.
Mr. Clare?
Yes, the fly larva in his container.
Accurate.
He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class.
Don't interrupt.
Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals, like those boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs.
Nod.
The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too.
Oh, don't worry, he is also dead.
Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Koyamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children.
Say nothing.
That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt Frisell is now dead.
Just nod.
We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only, in the 30s, those disco whores...
What follows is ominous mumbling. You cannot make out a single word.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter.
By the cock parading in his colorful uniform, you mean Renee?
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game.
What?
I don't care what they say on Radio June.
You'll be pleased to know, Sage, that both have been added.
Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A Patank maniac race traitor.
That's a lot.
I remember him. I remember him from Lanos. Not him personally, his make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one. That one.
With his shaky finger, he points to the city, toward the crater near the plaza where lonely pine trees. Thank you, Sage. Let me hydrate.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston. Alone.
There's no one there.
Fat and plump. Like a pheasant. Just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Truss.
Oh no, he didn't.
Shoot me.
He didn't shoot Renee. But Renee died.
He whispers with such predatory hunger. It borders on longing.
Sage! Sage, I appreciate it. You'd like to kill him?
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face.
Yeah,
and just
that's because he's not saying
trigger.
Summer.
Think about it. Let the bonbon melt in my mouth.
Save the treat for later.
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, Renee. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
Renee is dead. He died of old age a couple of days ago.
No,
Yes.
I waited too long. I waited too long and now he's dead?
I'm sorry, Mr. Dras. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now. Fuck it.
Are you okay, Mr. Dross, to go on?
You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days. Something strange is keeping him together, making him endure.
I'm glad we talked about this. Now,
Glad we talked about what?
let's assess his body language and definitely fail.
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit.
That's it?
He's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But that's it. You can see no more by looking at his slouched frame.
Oh,
the
heck.
moment passes, and you say,
How do I refresh chat? There we go. Yosef Lilianovich Dross, you're under arrest for the murder of the Cornell colonel here in Martin.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But...
Do you understand, sir?
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He looks at the reeds, eyes submerged in growing terror.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
Does it have room for 3?
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here, but...
There's something you're not getting here that he's realizing.
What?
Who watches over him there while I come back for you?
Something is happening. Stop. Lillian, you could ask her maybe.
Maybe I can just ask that nitpicker to watch him?
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now.
72% inland warning warned. Do I want to boost my perception? Wait, perception is... Chat, can you boost my... Wait, I can boost my motorics. Okay, chat, can you boost my motorics and reduce my physique? Motorics up, physique down. That's the one, Sage. %. Okay.
There it is.
Yes.
To your north, as it has been since you came to the coast, the reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other. But then, in the middle of it,
What?
something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
Too late, Crow. Too late for Harry by a long time.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat.
Oh, no, Juice, you're completely correct, but I just didn't know. Trashkin, do you hear that?
What?
What are you talking about? Is this really us?
Your skin crawls.
There we go! Literally my favorite moment in the entire game. And there's a lot to love.
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
Blink.
It's still there, an unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin, hovering in place.
You know, I think maybe those traps were a little bit small. Yeah, Juice, it's huge and it's beautiful. What is that?
What are you talking about?
The old man looks at the reeds, then at you. A giant stick insect.
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
There is. I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
Tim, can you see it?
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If you can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence, its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
The lieutenant whispers, then takes a step toward the giant archer. I'm actually going to save. Simply because this is a scene I might actually want to revisit.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from his head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
Enjoy, Sage.
The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch.
Listen carefully.
Ch, 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 s, ch, 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 s. Be afraid. You smell wrong.
This is the Insulindian phasmid.
It is.
The lieutenant whispers behind you. You hear the familiar ring of his jacket unzipping slowly, painstakingly so.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open, extremely carefully. It's the camera.
Are you sure you won't scare it off?
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, You see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear. I am not palatable. Do not eat me. I am afraid.
It's afraid. Stop now.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
Yeah, stop fiddling with the camera, but does not put it down.
He's letting his pride get in the way. You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Who cares what they think, Kim?
Understood. Of course.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
%97 for when I go for this. I know about Lena's childhood experience. My corpse will be marked by stars. I don't even remember what that's from, but sure. And I had the pheromone, which I laid on thick. Say something to it quietly. Something like, "You exist."
A sudden chirrup fills the air. The walking stick moves its whole body, limbs working independently of each other, like the parts of a masterfully constructed machine. It moves just an inch closer to you. Or does it only feel like it does?
Okay. Fingers crossed. I don't think it's possible to get more than 97% chance. And I didn't need to worry.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Raise your hand slowly.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence. No, stop. Be afraid.
Put your hand down.
The invertebrate comes back to life, stridulating. Sets of complex eyes follow you, moving in tandem on either side of the insect's small head.
Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Stand on your tiptoes and look more closely.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish. The faintest smell like you've never felt before, like burnt roses.
Kim, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
Okay, Kim, take the picture.
Okay.
With a slow ring of metal, Lieutenant slides the lens open and raises it to eye level.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword.
Oh.
The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
God, that's beautiful.
I got it.
You hear the lieutenant whisper as the creature's shape develops onto photo paper in his hand. A polychrome ghost of white streaks against the reeds in the sky, and you as a shadow before it.
For all time.
Slowly reach out and touch the creature's whisker.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the chitin curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. The sensation is electrifying, resounding through your body. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
Look at your finger.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
Lick your finger.
It tastes like sugar, very faint. The anthropod towers above you, tufts of reeds pointing from limb and head alike. Odorless, mostly comprised of water.
Carefully pet its scythe-like forearm.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing.
Run your hand up the slender limb, higher.
A small shudder passes the creature's arm. High above you, its black pearl eyes still glisten, mesmerized by the light passing its nervous system.
We got it. Back off.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
And this is why I boosted Inland Empire as well as I did. Like, I've got a lot of bonuses, but this one matters. So, my bonuses. Spoke to the Hanged Man, did not give up on the phasmid, tasted it, and knows of parthenogenesis. Those are all the bonuses. There may be more bonuses you can get, but this one's one. Tell me, what are you doing?
I exist.
I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
I'm ill.
What is your illness?
I'm ill in my head. I'm insane. That's how it is for me. Although no, I think for Harry all of it stems from in my heart. For me it's sadness, input after input.
For me, it is not like that. I have states, not the emotions. For example, I experience excitement at unexpected sugar rewards. But that is not important. Now I will tell you how it is for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist.
Intruded upon by what?
Shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never ache.
You're the type of animal I would like to be.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Why do you ask?
Sometimes, when molting, I will grow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced a missing antenna.
That's cool.
No, the leg tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk.
You don't have a foot there now.
Yes, thankfully someone ate it. The next time I molded, I grew an antenna again.
I am a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
I think I was born to detect you.
Yes. No one detected me for such a long time. For thousands of years. I dithered, out of sight. Trapped myself in greenery.
This is my masterpiece.
No one believed I exist. Almost no one. Until you came, detective. Dripping of blood that smells like strawberries. Across the calm sea. The first in 1,000 years.
I genuinely feel like, in some ways, this is the point of playing this game. I almost can't imagine not experiencing it. And it's wonderful, even though I knew about it. But the first time I played, I didn't see this coming. And it was so incredible. It is so incredible. Is this a dream? What is happening?
No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
Where does this come from? All this around us, the world.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lilies.
Then all we can do is beat our fists against it day after day with no answer?
You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
What a wonderful answer. What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys.
It may have unknown, dangerous biochemical characteristics that help it maintain its camouflage.
No one unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Seminoles Islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Reverchol, district of Martinez, March 51.
Are you poisonous?
Yes, I do not have a starter display, so I use a neurodegenerative element to aid in camouflage. Do not worry, it is only destructive over long periods of time.
Long periods of time, like 43 years? That explains a lot. It's insane.
No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile simian nerve system ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
The Pale started with humans? Wait, what is the Pale?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
I don't have that kind of power.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
How?
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Worse how?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget?
I will be extra careful not to blink, Stick Insect. Don't worry.
Please be. Or one day, one of you will close your eyes and sigh, and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Good lord, this... Kim, am I having a violent epileptic seizure?
It doesn't look like that, no.
What does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
Then I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind. Yeah, Juice. If you're referring to the game, mood. If you're referring to real life, also mood.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
I don't think it is. Although it's related to everything.
I think you should back away from the unstudied species now.
I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all.
No, there is one more.
Of all of the creatures I've met, you are the most beautiful.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class.
I will.
She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
That's not the biggest issue here, ma'am, but thank you. Disengage slowly.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone.
Lieutenant looks north with its hand raised to his... It can walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only... I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What's that in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
What now?
The old man behind you repeats suddenly. He puts his hands into the ash. It's dirty and black.
Some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
the helmet. And a rifle scope. I don't think he did, Summer. The ashes are cold. The fire went out a long time ago. Wait, where's the helmet? Okay. So you know what? No, I don't love that look. And I'm not going with that. What do I want? Trying to think. Thank you for the Starstorm, Summer. Yeah, a dress shirt. Look like an actual human being when I go back. There we go. But still without pants. Because nobody here needs pants. I'm gonna keep my truth stick.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Sir, how could you not see the phasmid?
See?
Stares at the reeds and falls silent.
Mr. Dras?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets, his gap-toothed mouth shaking, with fear and longing, like an addict of some terrible substance.
Touch his shoulder gently.
The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man. Other than that, no reaction. He feels small and frail.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dras?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
What has happened to this man? Not quite, Josh. The phasmid gives off a neurodegenerative pheromone, which basically makes it very difficult for most people to see it, and over extended periods of time makes you literally unable to see it. He was literally accurate when he said there were holes in his brain. What's happened to this man?
Old age and shock.
I think it's the phasmid.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
There's much more. Remember what it said when it spoke.
It's definitely toxic, the phasmid. It told me it is.
Told you? Yes, good. During your long staring match, I understand.
He couldn't see it, Kim. It's just the reeds for him.
That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dras.
No response.
Maybe this is how the phasmid has stayed hidden all these.
Then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it.
Yes, you forget it's there.
Mr. Dras, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the Reeds.
The...
The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
He's been here for a long time. Who knows of how much of it in its company?
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe.
But now it's left him.
I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
We found some interesting things in the Phasmid's nest, Mr. Ross.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
Show him the ceramic helmet.
Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage left, wherever he is. The last embers have gone out. The war is over.
I think Kim only saw it after Harry kind of pointed it out.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the Phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
Also, Crow is correct. Show him the detached scope.
I lost...
You lost it, Mr. Dross?
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie Phasmid.
The lieutenant observes the lens sparkle in your hand.
This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh. You've gotten all you will out of this poor being.
I'm going to let you rest now, Mr. Dross.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal. The strength has all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers and a windbreaker.
Hang tight.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
Neat, Josh. I always like hearing about that. Multiple people having a similar idea. This ending feels so melancholy. Even though, like, we've technically succeeded.
The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock.
This is not... like, nobody wins here.
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet.
Thank you, Crow.
But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. Two men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer. The sea is calm. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Look what the tide brought in.
Suddenly his expression changes and he tilts his head.
You look like a fucking clown, Harry. Not like a funny police officer, but like a real-life, full-time, pie-in-the-face, unicycle riding circus employee.
I mean, I think I'm dressed pretty respectably apart from the lack of pants. I wonder if you dress normally you get something different. No one else seems bothered by my style.
Bothered by it? Harry, you're a goddamn cop. They're afraid of you.
Oh, that explains it.
Yes, that has always explained it.
This is not the first time he's seen you all decked out in Waco.
Vic, calm down.
Forget about all this. There's a giant...
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heidelstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
Wait, this guy at the Feld building? He was the consultant all along?
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heidelstein, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisoragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us. We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
Correct, Kim.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
She says warmly, flashing the lieutenant the tiniest of smiles. What is this about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets.
How did you know I was here?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
I understand. Okay. Guard told you.
And people on the street helped us too, with your whereabouts.
You're a legend among the drunks, Harry. A legendary local drunk.
Yeah, except I haven't drunk in several days. Crow. You aren't the man with sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde.
Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on.
Actually, I suspected something was off.
Did you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You don't remember.
Correct.
Judging by the familiarity you feel toward him, 2 years minimum? Or maybe a short but close stint on the task force?
You mentioned a task force?
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Refresh my memory. Who else is in this?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trent fucking Heidelstein, and Guillaume Baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
Yeah, first, who's Guillaume Baby?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Baby is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tron because I'm forcing him to stay.
Okay, so what does the unit do?
Do? It's a major crimes unit. We cleared the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
God, Crow, that book's so weird. For anybody who hasn't read it, A Scanner Darkly is a wonderful book, but when you sit down, you have to commit to reading the whole thing. Because at least for me, I found it incredibly boring until like the last 20 pages, when it's incredible, and those 20 pages recontextualize everything that came before it to make it not boring. But you have to get through that to understand why it's not boring. It's so good, but you have to just commit to, I am reading this book. Oh yes, also very depressing.
They're your posse, or what remains of it. Hand-picked, hand-lost.
The 41st isn't...
Where have you been all this time? There was a mercenary tribunal.
God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die.
Why would you leave a literal police god? I said all those things? I'm not like that anymore.
Sure. You're not a superstar law official. Talk on the town is your Guillaume Le Million reincarnate. I know this shit. Nothing has changed.
None of this is ringing any bells.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic. As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
You see, number 4 is a wonderful answer, but they won't believe me. But I think it's true. It might have something to do with an anomaly in the church, a 2mm hole in the world.
Corresponding to the 20cm hole in your brain. Sure. This theory has great symmetry. I see how it folds into itself neatly.
Precisely, Satellite Officer Vicmere. It's Martinez.
Take this seriously. I suspect there might be something wrong with Martinet.
This sounds odd, but I was there. The church on the coast was shaking from an audio-spatial anomaly. It may have been anthroponetic or perhaps related to radio waves. Either way, it was real. I've even put it in my report. You should read it. I do not, however, think it has anything to do with him drinking himself to the point of brain damage.
Him? God.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Just to clarify, I do not think his other anthroponetics are a hoax. Pale produces global phenomena. It's proven. However, what has not been proven is total memory loss after drinking too much Komodo Red. Honestly, I think he's just lying to us.
But Detective Vigmere, he has blanked out before.
I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the 2 drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
The 2 cases in your ledger. The unsolvable case and the Next World mural. Those were recent. Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon, listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
Oh yeah. Don't put me in front of anybody.
Leadership, now.
Line detective is good for now.
For now, I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension?
I can get almost all of my clothes on. What now?
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Just stand there.
Yeah. Just stand there. It's cool.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk.
Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip.
Oh, that is a lot.
It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
I got my badge right here.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand.
Damn it! You're proficient in catching small objects. What have I caught before? God damn this game.
You juggle the badge for a second, unsuccessfully, and it lands on the ground, some 2 meters away.
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
And your gun?
My gun is right here.
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
I quit drinking. Forever. It's only me in this boring hellhole now.
I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then, huh?
Because I'm rotting from the inside.
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a week. I'm sorry I smell bad.
A bit of a week? You're drunk, and you let a suspect escape, a certain Clasier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuragis. We know.
Not taking her in was the right thing to do. She gave us a vital clue that led us to the island.
Oh, well, if she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect. The one who shot himself in the head. Or the fact that you're
I fucked that up.
little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote.
No, I'm tricking Everard Claire.
Compared to the 7 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
And it would have been way worse if I hadn't stepped in. Also, where the fuck were you? You arrived the day before that happened.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals.
Here comes the cavalry.
Fuck yes, Kim.
He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot and survived only because of his armor. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
Yeah, it was a massacre. We got wiped. Where the hell were you?
don't make this harder for yourself.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He thinks of apologizing, but decides against it.
You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Yofretor Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
Hell yes, Kim. Support me. Thank you.
See?
1 week.
Sir, this is the only week that I am even aware of.
Then there's the superstardom. He likes to, from time to time, allude to being a superstar law official. At first I thought it was a joke, but now I'm not so sure. He says disco about 20 times a day.
Yeah, disco is important to the way I work, Kim.
It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little odd.
Kim, stop helping me. You've helped enough.
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, and the constant smoking everywhere, all the time. But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen, in fact.
Constant smoking all the time? Did I smoke once in this playthrough? I don't think I did.
He can talk human beings into telling him everything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven.
I like Crow's interpretation better than yours, Summer, but thank you for reminding me.
Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Yeah, it was what it was.
Yeah, probably, Summer.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
So, as you can see, I'm a pretty okay detective and an absolutely giant communist.
Fucking hell. Is this somehow connected to the case?
Detective?
Yes, I believe the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation.
The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
I'm not drunk.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness.
The killer, Lilianovich Droz. We have a strong motive for it.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
A revolutionary matronym?
The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Makes sense then.
Thank you, Trot. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something.
Yeah?
A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason, said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
It's way more than that.
Oh no, not number 2. I did all I could. Every second was a struggle.
I've never doubted you can pull yourself together and work. In bouts. Bouts don't last. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. Like in your bones or something.
It'll take time. It'll get better.
It will pass. In time.
There was also a dead man on the boardwalk. A missing person I found.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
How did you know I found him?
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
Thank you, Judith.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
Also, the phasmid was female. The reeds are its nest.
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
It had gathered items in its nest. A helmet and a scope.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates.
I still think it was female.
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs.
I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
Just a hunch.
Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's a male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation.
That makes sense. Yes.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
I think it emits a chemical that makes it look even more like the reeds.
Yes. That would be a chiromone. A pheromone that's seemingly beneficial to the host. It usually stimulates the affected nervous system. Not a human's, of course, but perhaps a predator's?
Nothing is off the table. But I want to stress this. The find does not have to be connected to the case. The case is 100% prosecutable, without any chiromones.
Sure, Kim, but still.
Of course, Lieutenant. Of course. We should treat the case and the phasmid as completely separate from each other. People are not going to...
He shakes his head.
They're not going to go for this speculation in the constabulary.
It had mandibles that looked like hair, and it was completely white on the inside.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Without it,
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still. Quit while you're ahead? Or no?
I'm not going to tell them about the nightclub. So what do you say? Want to take this hot shit back?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude,
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
You haven't been drinking, she thinks. So, maybe this time.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are.
I have a few questions before we go about who I am.
The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who am I?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
What?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
But before?
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
That's why when I was in that gym, a lot of the things were familiar. It does explain a lot.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the shot put, your inexplicable facial hair,
The collection of phones, sportwear I've amassed.
your love of retro-style dance music, how you're able to perform a 360-degree spin kick.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
The incredible stamina output. Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy. God, even this javelin-throwing freak here.
Why did I join the RCM then?
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries, and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
You see, that's a nice memory for me. Let's keep to those ones. Okay, I see now.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
Why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
Yeah, that's valid.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Was she called Dora Dubois?
Dubois? It was Dora Engelund, I think. You've said her name, but you weren't married. You were engaged.
Oh. Wait, Dora Engerland?
Something like that. Half Vazan.
So we weren't even married.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
When was this?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way before my time.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
6 years?
Yeah, or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Engelund really tore you a new one. A big one.
Who was she?
Incredibly bangable.
Figures.
Extremely fuckable hair. Gorgeous.
God,
A
John.
gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Heartbreak, Welkin. Pain, Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
The Phasmid. I need to tell Lena about this ASAP.
Who is Lena?
A cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about this Phasmid.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
She is going to be over the moon. Watch out, or she'll faint.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol.
He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the light of his glasses.
I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Want to do that at Station 41?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering.
No, I meant investigate. Come work in Precinct 41. We can hold hands under the desk.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
Would fit him. Am crazy enough. Can take the stress. He doesn't know how to finish the sentence.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
The lieutenant turns very serious all of a sudden.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
I'm ready.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Tron brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Oh, it would be incredible, Luca.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon.
Summer, I love playing it.
You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South,
The square
man
bullet hole
without
murders.
eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Dawson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmair? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomny Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Okay, so this is why everyone ships them. From that one moment. I adore this game so much. I wish I could just sit through the credits, but unfortunately, time is against me. I've already been going very long, and I have to make dinner for my family this evening. So let's raid Chen, who is in a maid outfit, because of course he is. And let's stop the music so we can raid Chen. And the raid message will be holding hands with Kim Kitsuragi. Chen's all about hand holding, so it works. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. This was absolutely wonderful. I'm glad to have finished it, but I'm sad that it's finished. My next stream will be this coming Wednesday at 5:30 Eastern Time, where I'm going to be continuing Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm not yet sure what next Sunday will be. Possibly I will do one of these streams unlocked during our during our fundraiser. Possibly I will be using that to double up on Cult of the Lamb so that we can get through that quickly. But yeah, thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, or whatever time zone it is for you, and I will see you all around. Have a wonderful day, everybody.